by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
President Trump is asking NATO allies to up their economic commitment to defense spending. I'm Kylie Atwood in Brussels with the latest on the president's demands.
A manhunt has been ongoing for more than 14 hours. I'm Mallory Peebles with MTN News, and I'll take you to the scene.
Good morning to you. It is 6:30 on your Thursday morning. Our top story for you now. President Trump got off to a fiery start at the NATO summit, taking aim at Germany and other member nations for not doing enough to support the alliance.
Now he has another round of meetings today with world leaders before he jets off to London. CBS's Kylie Atwood is in Brussels with the details.
Ahead of the final day of the NATO summit, the president doubled down on his demands for more military spending. He tweeted, "Presidents have been trying unsuccessfully for years to get Germany and other rich NATO nations to pay more toward their protection from Russia." Yesterday, NATO's pomp and circumstance showcased its military strength and unity between the 29 countries. But the president, with some sharp criticisms, upended the gathering of allies.
Germany, as far as I'm concerned, is captive to Russia.
Only 5 members, including the U.S., are currently paying the requested 2% of their nation's GDP on defense spending. The president is now pressing allies to raise that to 4%.
There are disagreements, but NATO has made decisions and we are delivering on the defense pledge.
The summit here in Brussels is usually a chance to reaffirm a commitment to an alliance that was formed to defend against Soviet aggression.
Sometimes it feels like we punch our friends in the nose and hold our hand out to people that are working strongly against us, like Russia.
Back in the U.S., there's mixed reaction to the president's attacks.
The president is right to point out that our NATO allies need to adhere to their commitments.
The president and Russian President Vladimir Putin meet for a summit in Helsinki next week. Kylie Atwood, CBS News, Brussels.
Now, before the Helsinki summit, the president travels to the United Kingdom, where he'll meet with Prime Minister Theresa May, and then he'll do something that I'd like to do. He's going to have tea with the Queen.
Ooh.
I would love to sit and have a sport of tea with the Queen. I think that would be awesome. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have more at 7 o'clock on CBS this morning.
I think she would enjoy having tea with you.
I don't know about that. We'll find out.
I think she would.
We'll never know. Matt?
It's a flip of the coin on that one, Chad, I gotta be honest. Temperatures this morning actually very mild.
That wasn't very outdoorable of you.
Right now we're only getting to the 40s and 50s. I'm going to leave it alone, Chad. There's
leave it alone.
So many things I could say. Mainly calm and quiet conditions. Temperatures topping out around the 80s for most of the region today. We do have a bit of a warm up on the way. We'll talk about our yo-yo forecast. It's a little up and down, and we'll talk about it coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Matt. Now 6:32, and our top local story for you now. A manhunt near Bozeman Pass has still not come to an end. Authorities say it all started because of drunk driving. MTN's Mallory Peebles spoke with authorities and the suspect's family to bring us the latest.
For more than 14 hours, there's been nonstop activity here north of I-90 on Quinn Creek Road. It's where police officers have been staging their search area, both by ground and air.
I was surprised. I thought it was a joke at first.
The sound of a helicopter flying overhead woke many people in this area. Then, by neighbors or police, word made its way around quickly. An armed man was on the loose.
I made sure I grabbed the gun and I locked the doors.
Challenged by terrain, the massive effort to bring Chauncey Cole into custody Wednesday included law enforcement from local, county, state, and federal levels. SWAT and FBI both present in the search. They say the 37-year-old three-time felon is known to them, not just because of his past, but due to current investigations. Authorities say it all started when they got a 911 call about a drunk driver in a white sedan.
They made a stop on it. The stop didn't last very long. The driver, the male, was obstructing the investigation, and then he fled.
Park County Undersheriff says when authorities caught up with Cole, he pointed a pistol out the window and fired back at them. They backed off and found the car a few miles up the road being driven by a woman who was previously the passenger. She was arrested with unknown charges to come. Even with heavy police presence, people returning home say they're a bit nervous.
But that's a good end, but anytime you shoot at the cops, who knows?
I did speak with Cole's family, who says this entire thing is being blown out of context. They say this is out of his character and they're concerned for his safety. Reporting from Bozeman Pass, I'm Mallory Peebles with MTN News.
Now, a photo of the suspect right here. This is Chauncey Cole. He said they say he's 5'11", weighs about 170 pounds, and he has a red matted down mohawk. Authorities say do not approach him. If you see him, call 911. When we spoke with Park County Sheriff's Office last night, Sergeant Brad Bickler says they will be using infrared flare as they search throughout the night.
We'll continue to update you on that story as news becomes available. Meantime, a Montana Tech alumnus made a very generous donation to the Butte University to help it build its latest building on campus. Montana Tech announced this week that Sky and Cambria Callentine made a $1 million donation to go towards the construction of the Student Success Center currently being built on the campus. Sky graduated from Montana Tech back in 1997 in geophysical engineering program.
And the great part about somebody like Sky and Cambria, they get it. They understand what we're trying to accomplish here at Montana Tech and the value that Montana Tech provides and provided them and has changed their lives.
By the way, the $24 million Student Success Center is expected to open by next spring.
And the Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport set another record for the total number of passenger traffic flying in and out of the airport for the month of June. Nearly 135,000 passengers flew in or out of Bozeman this past June. This is about a 12% passenger increase from 27, and it's the most passenger traffic that the airport has ever seen. Airport Director Brian Sprenger says that the success and growth of the airport helps the growth of the economy of Southwest Montana.
You know, it's part of the booming economy that we're seeing in the area, both a result of it and also partially creating it. So whether it's the chicken or the egg, we're seeing the results here at the airport, much like the rest of the Gallatin Valley and Southwest Montana.
The airport expects another record-breaking month for July and expect nearly 1.35 million passengers to fly in or out of Bozeman for the total of 2018. And staying on numbers for just a moment, Yellowstone National Park experiences its second busiest June on record. The park hosted 810,884 visits in June of 2018. This is a slight increase over last year and below June of 2016, which remains the busiest June ever in Yellowstone. So far in 2018, the park has hosted 1,381,707 visits, up 2.5% from the same period last year. Visitation in 2018 is 27% higher than 5 years ago in 2014. For a complete breakdown of numbers, of course, visit us online.
Here's some good tips for you. Gift cards can often be a useful option, but consumer advocates say it might not pay to hold on to them for too long. In this week's Fraud Watch, MTN's Jonathan Ambarian looks at what you need to know to get the most out of your gift card.
For many, a gift card can feel like an especially convenient choice.
We know that gift cards are a very popular way for gifts because of the flexibility that it provides to the person that's going to use them, what they purchase and when they purchase.
But the Montana Office of Consumer Protection says if you do get a card, you may not want to wait too long before spending it.
It's better to use those gift cards right away versus letting them sit for years.
One concern, retailers filing for bankruptcy or going out of business completely.
And if that does happen, that can be very challenging to redeem those cards, and oftentimes you can't get the money back on those cards.
Investigator Marcus Meyer says it pays to be paying attention.
Be looking for notices of a possible closure of a store or a possible bankruptcy and know the time frame of when that's going to happen so they can redeem those cards before it's too late.
Some cards may also come with a fee if you wait too long to use them. In Montana, cards for use at a single business can't set an expiration date, but ones used at multiple retailers may have different rules.
They don't fall under the state regulations, so they may expire or have fees after a certain amount of time.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Now, if you have any questions about gift cards or other consumer issues, you can contact the Office of Consumer Protection. You can also find more information on our websites.
And nothing says summer like a nice burger, and there are only a few places in the country that serve up a better burger than the one at the Burger Dive in Billings. Now, another big honor, as the Burger Dive has now been listed among the top 10 burger joints in the country by travel site TripAdvisor. Burger Dive was started by Brad Halston and his wife Andy more than 7 years ago, and they're no strangers to recognition for their outstanding burgers. But Brad said this one in particularly is meaningful to them because it comes from the customers.
It means a lot, really, and if you think about TripAdvisor, it's coming from the customers, and I think that's a really cool thing. You look at some of the other national media, some of the stuff you get, and then compare it to this, where it's actually coming from the people that eat at your place, that eat at all these other places around the country, giving their opinions, and then to have that translate into this kind of recognition is just awesome. It feels great.
Now, according to TripAdvisor, you can find the best burgers at Al's Burger Shack in North Carolina, but I bet there's plenty of Montanans who would disagree. Yummy.
Never been.
I've never been either.
I want to give it a shot now.
I think we got to go check it out.
Sounds really good.
It is time for a quick break. Good morning to you. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday. When we return, an incredible tale of survival. Oh my
yikes.
goodness. A man is being dragged under a train and survives. Unbelievable.
Holy cow. Before we have that, though, let's head to New York, check in with Nora O'Donnell for a look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock.
Good morning. Ahead here on CBS This Morning. President Trump says the NATO alliance remains strong. We're in Brussels after an unscheduled session of NATO leaders. The president now says our partners will spend more to support defense and prepares to head to Britain, where protests are expected. And only on CBS This Morning, the Silicon Valley company that's making the dream of flying cars become a reality. We'll see you right at 7.